Welcome everyone to the location and fight guide for Ungora, the Spider Queen. The boss can be found in the Spider Cave, as shown in the map with the blue marking. For this boss fight I used the illustrious Bastard Sword, Pendant of the Dusk Watcher and the Crimson Templar armor set. I also used the Blood Rage, Power Surge, Veil of Chaos and Crimson Beam abilities. Before starting this boss, I recommend destroying all the spider cocoons inside the boss room. When these cocoons are destroyed, they have a chance to spawn humanoids or spider ants. Make sure to also kill all the ants before starting this boss. If you get into combat with the boss while clearing, you can always walk down the ramp to reset the boss. This boss has 8 main key points. The boss raises her front legs, followed by scissor striking you with them. When hit, this will deal a decent amount of damage and knocking you back. Try to sidestep this. When the boss has an unholy orb in front of her, she's about to spit out 5 unholy projectiles in an arc. When hit, each projectile will deal a small amount of damage. But if you stand too close to the boss, you could get hit by multiple projectiles, which could lead to a decent or even large amount of damage. The boss also has another similar ability, but instead of one arc of unholy projectiles, the boss will pulse a lot of unholy projectiles. When hit, each projectile will deal a small amount of damage, but again could lead to a large amount of damage when hit multiple times. Try to move or use your dash ability to avoid as much damage from these two abilities. The boss will fire an unholy orb into the air. When hitting the ground, it will explode, leaving behind a big puddle of unholy venom, followed by clustering in 6 new projectiles that will also explode when they land, leaving behind smaller puddles of unholy venom. When you are hit by the big explosion, it will deal a large amount of damage. When hit by the smaller explosion, it will deal a decent amount of damage. You will also receive an unholy dot for about 3 seconds. And when you walk back into the unholy venom puddles, you will also receive a small amount of damage every second you're inside of it. Try to walk away from these explosions. The boss will also summon adds. The number of adds depends on the number of players attacking the boss at once. These adds have 2 abilities. When they hit you, they will slow you for about 2 seconds. These adds will also spit out a spiderweb projectile. When hit, this will deal a small amount of damage and leaving behind a spiderweb that will heavily slow you when you're inside of it. The boss will also fire a spiderweb projectile. When hit, this will also deal a small amount of damage and leaving behind a spiderweb that will heavily slow you when inside of it. Try to sidestep this. The boss also has a pulling ability. The boss will spit out spider silk. When hit, you will be pulled in front of the boss. When a big red circle appears underneath the boss, shortly after the boss will jump in the air. When the boss lands and you are still in this circle, you will receive a very large amount of damage and knocking you back. Try to move or dash out of this circle as soon as you can. After killing this boss, you will gain a tier 3 Unholy spell point that you can spend on a tier 3 Unholy ability of your choosing in the Unholy ability tab. You will also unlock the Spider Form Vampire Power. This Vampire Power will allow you to transform into a spider, which allows you to bury yourself into the ground to hide from enemies. When you are buried, you can also avoid getting burned by the sun. You will also become friendly to other spiders while in the spider form. You can now also summon Spiderlings at the vermin nest, which will yield silkworms upon killing them. And finally, you can now also make silk at the loom. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and if you want to see some live content or have any questions about the game, you can always come and visit me at twitch.tv/Chiraku. Thank you again very much for watching, and I see you all next time.